This is 360 Brand Current Perspective with James Faulkner.
Welcome to 360 Brand Current Perspective. I'm James Faulkner. Today we got an article in the Financial Post about Starbucks, one of my favorite brands. They have a new policies they're getting the baristas to do, which is a procedural policy around delivering the end product from the espresso machine to the customer. Things like not sharing the milk jug, for instance, that they don't steam a whole bunch of milk and pour it into different lattes, for instance. So one little steamed milk per product. They have to rinse that milk jug in between delivering the product. Also, they have to stand still at the counter. Now, these are all very interesting parts to what Starbucks is all about. And I know that they have reports from baristas that this is a fairly cumbersome set of procedures. Well, here's the bottom line. This is my perspective on this. Starbucks is what it is. It's there for unity. It's not a boutique coffee shop. You just got to know that. And the other thing is that going for a coffee, this is a product that's habit forming. We expect the same thing and the same result over and over and over. That's why we go towards it. That's why it's a habit, because we have the same response to experiencing that particular product, which is piggybacked off caffeine. Caffeine, we have this euphoria going on that we feel a certain way when we have a coffee. Now, when that becomes habitual and it's a morning ritual, for instance, people want to go in and get the same thing all the time because it's part of their day. And, you know, I think probably you, the audience, have been in a different town somewhere, you've been traveling, and, you know, you really feel like a coffee and you think, oh, there's a Starbucks. There is the place that I can go and get what I expect, and it will be the same. Now, so the bottom line is that is part of the value proposition of Starbucks. They know that. They know their place in the market. These procedural strict guidelines they're putting in place reinforce that and reinforce the ability to deliver on their value proposition. Now, this isn't something that Starbucks goes and says to the public. It doesn't say, we're the most consistent, come to us. But we know that inside. We have that tick. When we want some caffeine and we want to go get a coffee and we don't want to reinvent the wheel and go and have something that's a risky experience, we just want to get a coffee and move on in our day, Starbucks is the ideal brand for us, and we all know that. So, yes, some of these things can be cumbersome, and, you know, baristas are obviously going to have some sort of a resistance to anything new. But at the end of the day, even if they do 80%, Starbucks is 80% better in terms of its unity. So there's my perspective on Starbucks.
Brought to you by Trident Financial. Investor Relations Services. Traditional ideals, modern execution. Go to tridentfin.com.